And alright guys, what is going on? David Hammond back here with another tutorial. Today we are speaking all on, I guess, the second part of the three-part mini-series all on mini docs or mini documentaries. So if, as context, if you guys have not seen the first one, I'm going to put that link that right here. That is all on an intro to shooting mini documentaries, where this is now the second part. This is speaking all on the A-roll or interviewing, more of like the meat and potatoes really of shooting a mini doc. So when you are shooting one with a person, figuring out how do I ask questions, how do I really try to dissect what I want to from them to then give a better video. Really self-explanatory. So context, main camera, B camera, we have the T, what is up? I've been on a huge green tea fix lately, so if you guys see that, I kind of want this to just be a laid back chat sort of vibe, right? So real simple, guys. We're going to break this part or this video into 3 sections, all on interviewing someone for their mini doc or documentary of whatever sort, right? So the first thing, this is intro, okay? So with any person, we're assuming this is based on a person, okay? You are asking someone questions, whether that's for their brands, their business, who they are, etc., right? So intro. This is, before you can do anything, you first have to give context to who the person is, regardless if they're a garbage man, if they're an interior designer, if they make clothes, if they make tea. It really doesn't matter. If an audience is going to watch a video, within a second, you have to introduce that person. Like what are they investing themselves into? Are they going to watch a 10-minute video of who? I mean, that's super self-explanatory. These videos really aren't too hard to understand. It's just, it's kind of solidifying it so you guys can understand, okay, cool, At least this is what I've done. So intro, who are they? The first thing I like to do, guys, is context for you, is I like to have maybe a 15-second intro of the person before I then hype everything up. So as an example, if you check the other docs, the first one I did with Philip, he was maybe like, hey, my name is Philip Garcia. I am 21 years old. I live here in X city, and I am a singer-songwriter. I'm a musician. Bob, that's like 10, 15 seconds. Right from that, I cut to maybe some B-roll, maybe some hype music, an introduction, right? To instantly grab them. But within 15 seconds, you as a person know, as an audience, this is what I'm getting myself into. The next one, the one I just shot the other day with Andrew, same thing. My name's Andrew, 21. I live in this city, boom, and I am a designer, right? Whatever it is. And yeah, so that is step 1, guys, intro. Now, once that's done, the intro doesn't just finish there. Like, you don't just get into like the other steps. You still need to give more context into who that person is, right? So once they understand that, it's then delving into it. Their upbringing, right? I've been doing this for X amount of years. I started this because of this. This was the turning point for me on why I decided to go hard with it. But it's still phase 1. It's still introduction. You haven't really delved into the other things yet. And I would recommend you don't delve into the other things because it has to follow a linear fashion. And that's why I've made this video, because what I've noticed myself with shooting the mini docs, or really with any video you guys notice, is that there's a story, there's a flow. And it usually goes exactly like that. There's intro, so it goes up intro, everything's great. And then it goes challenges. Whoa, things are kind of dark and like, what the heck? And then victory, right? So I kind of just prefaced the other 2 points right there. But after intro, introduce them. Then maybe 2 minutes in, 2-3 minutes in, let's assuming it's a mini doc, a 10-minute video, let's say, 2 minutes in, phase 2, challenges, okay? Now with any story of any sort, there has to be some sort of challenge or overcoming. And if there's not, there's no tangible takeaway to the audience. Like, they're not going to watch it. There has to be a story. Challenges. And it's as simple as that. You now ask the person what they've been through. And this part now, to give a bit of context into, this is the tricky part. This is the part that I struggle with, that I think everyone struggles with, because this is where you actually have to they have to be vulnerable. You both have to be vulnerable, but especially them. Like, you have to ask them the deep questions that, to be honest, there's a good chance they haven't even spoken to people about them. Like, you may be the first person tangibly they're speaking to about their challenges. Like, no one wants to speak about that stuff. Like, you have to be vulnerable. Excuse me. So now once getting into challenges, the actual meat and potatoes, one of the biggest questions that people have, or I had, was, okay, do I write a list or do I not? Like, do I write a list of questions like, oh, how did you overcome this? Like, what was your biggest challenge with this? How did this affect this? because that's very common. A lot of people will write down a list, or do you ditch the list and you just go full off spontaneity? So you're fully just in the present, in the flow. I think it's a bit of both, to be honest. But for me personally, I lean more towards. And I'm sorry if I'm speaking so fast, guys. Like, there's a lot of information to bang off in this video. For me, I would probably go more towards the latter, which is you really don't have a list. Like, you really don't know what you're going to ask. So much of it is being, and if you ask any great interviewer, like a guy my friend Sam Demla just did, and he's a speaker, he's a legitimate speaker with a lot of practice. He interviewed me. So we did a podcast on my story, and he said himself, like, he does not like having lists, period. When he's up on stage speaking, there is no list. It's very, you can have a jot note, but it's very in flow. And that's because everyone's emotions going to change, right? You can imagine if, like, think about this. And he said this, and it was the most true thing. If you're sticking to a list as an interview, let's say I ask you a really challenging question and you pour your soul into that, right? You're so vulnerable. And then you just go to the next question, which is like, oh, great. Okay. So how's your mom and dad doing? Like, do you know how what's the word? Insensitive, like how bad that looks. Like, that looks like you just didn't care at all about what they said about opening up. So to me, it's fully being in the present with them, right? Presence is huge, guys. It is massive. This is very vulnerable stuff. So if they just spoke all on their childhood, right? That's where the path took them. Then flow with that, right? Delve more into the childhood. Okay, how was your family reacted to that, maybe in childhood? Like roll off that and let things flow. Of course you have to have a jot of, like, I need to understand maybe money, family, friends, but let it flow. Don't write too much of a list, because people that you're interviewing or vice versa will know if it is just a list. They will know, and they will hate it. You know, why would I open up to you if you're just acting as if I'm a robot, you know? You're not going to. So that's the meat and potatoes. That is part 2 with challenges. Be in the present. Ask them legitimate, deep, challenging questions. Like, excuse me. That's why I have the green tea. I'm telling you guys. And that's the second reason on how they all work. The reason you're so present and delicate with asking them the questions is because, on the flip side, to make a good mini documentary or documentary of any sort, you have to ask the hard questions. You have to ask the questions that maybe they're not ready to answer. Maybe they didn't rehearse them. They didn't study them. Like, you have to be willing to take those hits for the conversation to be a bit uncomfortable. It's like, if you just stick on superficial little challenges, like, you know, oh, what did your friend think about this? Or like just like, you know, little tiny things that, like, it really doesn't matter, then it's going to be a crap video. Go deep, but with that, be present, be fragile, be delicate, and be willing to adapt as things move forward. So that's going to take us to the third part of the mini doc, how to interview. Whoa, that came out quick. So yeah, the third part: intro, who they are, challenges, all relating, victory. There has to have a flow. With any book you read, any medium of art you read, for the most part, there's this flow. All right, beginning, challenge, end. You come full circle. Victory, but they're all related. Now that you have all the challenges, how did you have your biggest victories? When was the turning point when you realized things were starting to take off, when things made sense because of the challenges? How did everything start to catapult? And the reason that it's so beautiful with this is they're naturally going to be so hyped to answer those good questions of success, greatness, whatever it is, because they were just so fragile. They just spoke so much about their dark parts that now that it's going to be great. I guess what I'm saying is, the deeper you can naturally make them get with the challenges, the higher the successes are going to be, which are going to aid in the video. The challenges are going to be better for the video. The success is going to be better for the video. It's just, it's a great simultaneous synergistic thing where it just works. So I think you guys can understand this third part really isn't too difficult. Ask them all on their wins, their successes, what they've learned, their peaks, and that'll come out so naturally, like that, because those are the easy questions. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's easy. I can be like, what's your greatest success? Everyone will talk on that. Challenges, not so much. So that's really it. And I think for the takeaway, what I try to do with the 3 that I did, and with the others that I'm trying to do, or really with any video, is takeaway, call to action. So Whoops. So the last part is the take where call to action. I think this is very self-explanatory again to you guys, but it's something you can forget. There has to be an ending, really coming full circle. Now that you, as an example, now that you guys know who I am, what I've been through, what my successes are, and what I'm trying to do, here is the finale. This is what I'm asking you guys to do, or this is where I'm going to leave it off. So subscribe, follow the journey, buy the program, help me with this, whatever it is. If you're doing it for a business, a personal brand, a product, it's all going to be different. Don't neglect that. Thank you guys, as an example. Thank you guys so much. You guys listen to who I am, what I'm trying to do. Make sure to follow me on my journey because I'm excited, and I think you guys will be too. Thanks again. Peace. Super simple. It's an outro. Just don't neglect that. Don't just be like, all right, that's it. Thanks, guys. Bye. Like, that is such a waste. That is such a waste of potential. Like, you could have directed them to so many things. So take full advantage of that with the outro or call to action, because all videos in and of themselves are pretty much the same. They all follow that. Anyways, I'm ranting. That is it, guys. Tea's good, man. That's it. I'm going to finish it there. This is probably a long video. Wow, I'm going to have to condense this quite a bit. But I hope that helped. I hope this is able to help you guys shoot your mini dog. Go out there, shoot it. Use these tips and go with it. Flow with it. Have a good time. It's going to be easier than you think. There will be challenges, but it will be much more enjoyable and easier than you think because you genuinely care about this person. I think I actually want to finish it off on that note because we're talking about interviewing someone. I would try your best to interview or do these mini docs to people you actually care about, right? Now, of course, there are going to be brands that maybe you don't really care about in the beginning and you have to, but try your best to do it of people you can either back up. You don't have to know them personally, but people you resonate with, like you care about. Because asking the questions and going through the lows and the highs will be so much more organic and easier. Because a good mini doc, believe it or not, yes, is based off the person you're interviewing, but more importantly, it's based off the person who's asking. That's the foundation. If the interviewer is bad, the interview is bad. Not the other way around. You as an interviewer, as an asker of the doc, it relies on you in a good way. So care about that person and work together. That's it. I'm finished. This is a long video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys liked it. I hope it helped. With that, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if new. My name's David. I do videos all in photography, videography, my lifestyle, and would love to have you guys as a part of the fam. So that's it. Thank you guys. This tea was bomb. With that, much love. Peace.